Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 0.87% to 3236. Ethereum up 0.66% to 1821. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. What we've just done together is a run through of the crypto market. This keeps you informed on what cryptos are moving in what sectors. This is really valuable information to refer back to in the future. It's incredibly valuable to get a perspective on how the crypto market is moving. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the masterclass, our NFT collection, and the NFTs, by the way, are really cheap at the moment because Ethereum has come down. The tax software I use, and you can get a 20% off discount through that link, and you can always directly message me on Twitter at any time. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there is always hope. Crypto technical analysts scientifically track investor attention, and investor attention is measured by price, which is reality and not future promises. The first thing we do is to mark up our charts with the CTKS method. That gives us a very good perspective on the exponential price movement of crypto and where support and resistance lines are. Next, we look to outside trends, collecting probabilities like a good detective. We then come back inside the crypto market to find the market's focus, understanding that opportunities reset daily and enhancing our pattern recognition. Getting a feel for the market is incredibly important. It's something that a lot of people don't do, and it's probably the reason why many people struggle to be successful, because you must get a feeling for what the markets are doing, not just crypto, but externally as well. We know Rule 570, psychology sets profitability. That's why we need to get our psychology correct. We need to look at the crypto market not as a gambling den or something to throw wagers into the ring. If you do that, you'll just lose your money. It's just a question of when. We must look at it as a professional discipline. Remove emotion, and also trade with a lot of rules. We must master our emotional control before we buy or sell. Rule 141, go slow to go fast. This is a benchmark rule for all of life. The faster you go, the slower you will actually go. Go slow to go fast is a hidden secret, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, but it especially comes to fruition when you're actually learning. Just take your time, get the fundamentals, and go step by step. It's the fastest way that you can do anything and be really active. That is, actively learn. I have a trade to show you, but I wanted to give you a bit of a concept on the 10% per week idea, and this is a concept just like the 10-5-10 rule or Borsog, buy on red, sell on green. The concept is, if you manage to put $1,000 in and get $100 return, you'd make 10%, or you get $1,100. If you did this each week, just stacking it and restacking it, you'd make 11,639% over the span of a year. That percentage would turn $1,000 into $117,390. And this is really important to understand. This can take the stress off many people. Many people, when it comes to crypto, they want a huge percentage gain, not ever realizing that a smaller gain accumulated on a weekly or periodic basis, and it doesn't have to be weekly, it depends what the markets do. We have to move with the markets, but it just goes to show you, you can do really well by doing a small percentage gain. But to do this is not easy. You need knowledge, you need rules, you need patience, you need a real wealth, positive excellence focus, and you must buy on red and sell on green. You must get the percentage right, and you must be on the right side of the percentage. I'd like to give you an example, but I'd like to also give you the context. Ape AUD, a beloved community member, reached out to me and shared this particular trade. And what we saw with Ape was doing really, really well. It was going parabolic, and then it started to come down. And you can see from this high to when our beloved community member started to get interested in this particular trade, it came down 78.34%. Now, as an investor or a long-term holder, that would have been a brutal move. But what we do inside our community is seek to get in and out of trades. And we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, but less than 5% of investors know how to trade. Be one of the elite investors, know how to trade, because it's really important from a psychological aspect. So let's zoom in here a bit to this particular price action. If we zoom in, you can see the price came down very, very steeply. And what did this beloved community member do? They were looking at this and they saw that Ape was going up. Now this is a little bit of a different scenario. It is in a way buying on red, but you can also see that you can buy on green and also be profitable. This is not a break of the Borsog rule. This is a variant of it. And what you will find in trading, in crypto, there are so many ways that you can do a trade. So this particular beloved community member took a level here and then took a level here. And what happened next? Prices got a little bit wobbly. And then what happened? This beloved community member said, okay, I'm happy enough. I'm going to get out here. Now, what I'm going to do is just zoom out and show you what that actually looks like. What happened next? Prices came down. So that wasn't a bad trade, but the concept is you don't really know what's going to happen after you buy or after you sell with certainty. You can only use probabilities, and that's what it's all about. Now, how did this particular trade go? The first thing we look at is that it actually happened within one day. The buy on red, sell on green, just one day. I can never put any trade in front of you without proof or evidence. And what do we see here? On May the 30th and May the 31st, a buy on May the 30th and a sell on May the 31st. We can see those two, and we can see the different levels. For example, 894, 873, you can see there, and 986. And the thing to remember is this is Ape in Australian dollars, not in USDT or USD. And what we actually see, this is a screenshot from the tax software that I recommend. It's really important to understand your tax situation at all times, not just at the end of the year. You can see cost base, fees, proceeds, gain. When we add up the cost base here, the 2104 and the 235, that's 2304.02. When we add the proceeds, the 2341.75 and 265.78, we see this 2607.53. Adding the 235 and the 3059 actually is before fees, so we need to add the fees here and here. This gives us a gain before fees of 267.51. When we take all of this information and we put it into our calculator, that 2304 was the invested amount, 2607.53 was the returned amount, and the gain or loss from a gross amount, not a net amount after fees, but a gross amount. And this is the only way you can tell fees, is to have this kind of accounting software. Otherwise, you're just paying too much tax. You can see that the return on investment was 11.43%. This was within one day. If this beloved community member kept on doing this every day, just rolling their capital day in, day out, getting this percentage, which would be crazy, and we wouldn't anticipate that happening. But you can see the annualized return on investment is so high, it's just laughable. And this is the thing, you can do really, really well in the crypto market by just doing small gains. And so let's look into this. This is just a little blip in the road, isn't it? It's just like literally nothing. And this is what I'm here to tell you. You can do really, really well if you know how to borsog, if you know how to mark up your charts. And of course, I don't mark up the charts here because it requires a lot of advanced knowledge. That knowledge is inside the masterclass. But the concept is, this money is on the table, and it's certainly a lot better than bank interest returns. As part of our work as crypto technical analysts, we need to check outside the crypto market. And why do we need to do this? Because crypto is just one form of investment. It's not the solitary form of investment. And when you've been in the markets for decades, you understand that other markets influence the market that you're in. So you really need to understand it. Let's have a look at the fear gauge inside the main stock market. It's coming down. What does this actually mean? When the fear comes out of the market, prices go up. And what have we seen here? Look at that. The Nasdaq 100 came down, shot up, found this support and bounced. And that's what we've been talking about for some time. Things were really, really, really negative down here. And I said, there is a very strong probability, not a certainty, but a strong probability that will come up and test this resistance line. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're on the journey towards that. What does this mean for crypto? When we looked at yesterday's price action, we can see the markets were testing that level of once resistance turned to support, as this is what we thought that they would actually do, and it bounced just in the last hours of trading. This is really, really good stuff, especially for Bitcoin, because we can see that the Nasdaq and Bitcoin are following each other's directional gravitational pull. This is really, really important. This gives us a sign that risk on in the crypto market is probable today. Is it certain? No, it's not certain, but it is definitely probable. Keep your eye on these things. It's important to understand these interdependencies. What do we see with bond prices? They've been retracing. What about gold? Gold is rallying. It's trying to get through that resistance. What do we see with the dollar? Sharp angles reversing. And well done for everybody who figured out that Bitcoin happened to your beloved alt. Well done. We can see this sharp angle reflecting. It's actually coming down. We expect the dollar to end up in this area. And what do we see? Bond prices and bond yields are inversely mathematically related, so they're going up at the moment. And we can also see that oil retraced, but's going forward now. Price is always moving in a wave, always. And we can see that the sentiment inside this main stock market is getting more bullish. It's getting more positive, more optimistic. We can see that through the put-call ratio. Inside the masterclass, I do deep dives into all of these things and much, much more that I never discuss in the public channel. Just as Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, Rule 45, your beloved alt, cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity either. We can see that the sell-off in Bitcoin caused a lot of fear to re-enter the market. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index is currently registering extreme fear at 13, and it's been bubbling along this line for quite a period of time, basically since Bitcoin was consolidating sideways. But we can see the open interest is increasing. It goes up and down. It's always moving in a wave as well. Turning to Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin currently trading at $30,259. And what do we see here? We've had a range of consolidation between the resistance level here and the support level of A. And we can see that price is making its way up to 1. We know that all prices move in a wave, but we've actually struck a lot of support below. Let me just zoom into that area. we can see that all these support lines actually held Bitcoin's price when it sold off from this very strong resistance line. It just didn't have enough strength to pull through this one, but it's come down, magnetized to other lines, and it's actually bounced from that. This is why the CTKS method is so incredibly valuable, and it's an update to candlestick pattern analysis. We can also see that some relative strength is re-entering the crypto market as well. And no wonder we've got a bullish reading, if you like, an optimistic reading on the fear, on the put call. We can see the Nasdaq going up. We can see the dollar coming down. It's pretty good overall. A lot of people say in crypto, hey, crypto's got nothing to do with the stock market. We're independent. We've decoupled. We're never going to decouple from the stock market. They're just interrelated investment vehicles, and it's important to realize that. What I've done is I put the Nasdaq 100 price movement on it, and I've done it over Bitcoin, and you can see they've been following each other fairly well. A little bit of a divergence here at the moment, but all in all, they're following. I'd like to point out that there's a very strong line we need to get across. This will come into play when price gets above 33, say 500. We want to be trading in between 2 and 3. This could actually cause a cascading short liquidation, and that could mean that we might see something like this. You remember quite a few days ago I said it looks like we're going to get above this line. If we do so, we will in all likelihood see the shorts getting liquidated. And that's exactly what happened. If we get across this line, number 2 here, and we get into the middle or just above it actually, we could get a very wild cascading of shorts. And when shorts get liquidated, they need to buy. And that will probably take us all the way up to 4. Just bear these things in mind. We also have to look in the other direction. What could price do on the negative? But before I do that, I'll just cover longs and shorts. We can see the shorts coming into the market. They were liquidated back here, like what I said, because this actual resistance line got violated, and the shorts were not happy with that. They got clobbered. But what do we see? The shorts and the longs are always working together, even though it may not seem so. One is to cool the market down, one is to heat the market up. We're seeing more heating and more cooling in the market. But what is happening from a macroeconomic stance, not what is happening in the news, because the news may play out in 6 to 12 months or even more. We can see overall sentiment is quite optimistic, and the shorts are entering, and they may actually get liquidated, but there is no certainty inside the crypto market. And a lot of people don't look across different investment substitutions, and stocks are a substitution for crypto investment. You have to keep all of these things in mind. In the past 24 hours, we've had 191.32 million in liquidation across 50,438 positions. Across the past 24 hours, of the total liquidations, 54.07% were short. What about the last 12 hours? That was more, 55.44% short. What about the past 4 hours? That was even more, 63.66% short. What about the past hour? 82.38% short. The shorts are getting hit at the moment. And why is that? Because macroeconomically, the markets are telling us a story. There's positive vibes ahead. But is that certainty? No, it's not. It's probability. And you must always act on probability, not certainty. The markets penalize certainty. So let's have a look at what is cooking down here. We can see that the shorts and the longs are always getting liquidated, sometimes one more than the other, sometimes both together equally, but it's always on. One or the other is getting hit greater, but you never see that only longs are hit or only shorts are hit. That doesn't occur even in the deepest, darkest days of red sell-offs or the deepest green days of massive buy-ins. It doesn't occur. You always get people getting liquidated on both sides. Please bear this in mind. The markets are a little volatile at the moment, so I would suggest tightening up your Borsog trades, and you can see that you don't have to do much to actually turn a fairly good percent return. But it just really depends on your investment strategy and why you're doing what you're doing. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's options, and we can see the max pain price for options expiring at the end of June is 34,000. This is the price at which most option holders will lose their money, and we can see that there are positive optimistic bets or gambles in the market all the way to 300,000. There's pessimistic bets all the way down to 10,000. But where are the clusters between 20 to 25,000 on the negative side, the put side? And what are we seeing between 60 to 70? This is actually for the end of this month. The options market is sending us a signal that people are quite enthusiastic or optimistic of higher prices in this month. Because of the Terra Luna incident, we had a massive loss in TVL, or total value locked, inside DeFi. It fell climactically. It is now 108.02 billion, down 3.55% from yesterday. When we look at total value locked in all chains, we can see the majors have suffered very heavy damage on the 1 month. Tron is forging up, but it's slowing in terms of the percentage change of TVL. What are the greatest gainers in the past 24 hours? We can see ICP up 24.27%. HOT is looking pretty hot at 7.72% up. Stacks 7.01%. Moonbeam 6.61%. Chiliz 6.26%. ADA 6.06%. Ape 5.3%. And LRC 5.29%. Let's go the other way. What's the greatest losses over the past 24 hours? CVX down 3.9%. You can see the market's not down much. And we can understand this because we look at the main markets. They're looking pretty good. 1inch 3.41% down. XDC 3% down. HNT, Helium 2.62% down. And the rest are pretty small change. It's good to think optimistically, but what if the market pulls the rug and goes the other direction? Where will things get caught? We can see these really strong support level at 28,940. We've also got very strong support at 26,595, but the strongest support is at level C. Now, where do we get that number from? It comes from the KS model, and this lower boundary you can see up there, and it's always changing because it's in relationship to the current price. But this red line has acted as a very strong support for Bitcoin's price in the past. So what do we see? It's now 24,204.62. From the current price, we're 20.06% away from that very strong support, and we're about 14.93% away from a potential cascading short liquidation that could force price up to 4 to meet this secondary resistance. There's a couple of resistances throwing themselves in at this 4 level, but that's very possible. Please let me know what letter or what number do you think Bitcoin will be trading at tomorrow. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about refining your capability to predict prices. It's not easy to do, but you get better and better every time you try. And we've got a very supporting and loving community as well. It's really nice for you to reach out and just say hi as well. Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TG34. Looking into the top cryptos, we can see Bitcoin is still under that resistance, but it's just bounced like the Nasdaq did. It bounced from support and bounced up. Let's have a look at Ethereum. This blue line is Bitcoin's gravity. And if you've just joined us, a very warm welcome to you. What we can actually see is that the alts move in directional correlation with Bitcoin. As Bitcoin comes down, the blue line comes down. The beloved alt comes down with it. As the blue line moves up, which is Bitcoin's gravity, your beloved alt will move up with it 99% of the time. It's probably even more than that. It's probably 99.8%, but 99% is pretty good. When you look at Binance Coin, we can see that it's following Bitcoin's gravity, and this over and under exaggeration of positive and negative movements gives us an understanding of the particular power of an alt. We always want to pay attention to that. Strong alts make strong gains. Weak alts will wipe out your account. You've got to be really careful of weak alts. XRP moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, still a long way under resistance. This could be interesting. We could see a very big jump up in price to meet resistance. Let's have a look at ADA Cardano. We know that the Vasil hard fork is coming out June 29th, and we can see, and we've always seen, that ADA does rallies before these hard fork events, before big events, and that's actually what all cryptos do, so just be aware of that. And also be aware that price is always moving in a wave. You want to buy on red. Solana is moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, even though its network went down. This goes to show you the power of Bitcoin's gravity. Let's have a look at Doge. Doge is moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, still under resistance, just like Bitcoin and pretty much all the rest are. But what happens when they get above resistance? That's a very, very good sign. And let's have a look at DOT. DOT is following in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, and it's really, really close to getting out from under resistance. The resistance you can feel is like a roof. It's like a pressure that pushes price down and just won't allow it to escape. But when price pierces these resistance lines, it wants to go up to the next resistance line. Which of these 8 impress you the most at the moment? Part of a professional's outlook is making in advance probabilistic choices. You need to know what you will do with your entire portfolio or your particular trade if things go for you, go against you, or go nowhere. Professionals always have that three-dimensional thinking. When people just get into the market, they have one-dimensional thinking. They say, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to get rich quick. Actually, getting rich quick is a recipe to get poor quick. You don't want to do that. You want to get the knowledge. The markets reward your knowledge and they penalize gambling. Let's have a look at the metaverse. How's the metaverse going today? We can see SAN looking really powerful in there. It's got an uptrend underneath that, a very, very nice upward support. And we can see Axie Infinity is going to the stars and beyond and then crashing back, but it's showing a lot of power. And these sharp angles, you have to be very careful of them in crypto. And you can actually take enormous advantage of them as well. When you get a sharp angle down like this, they typically reflect. And when they reflect, you can do extremely well. We love those sharp angles, especially to the downside. And what about Mana, Decentraland? We can see it's moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, but it's showing strength. Gala, also showing strength. But Sand is showing more strength, I believe, than most of them at the moment because of this upward line, this upward support under here. That looks very, very interesting. Engine is just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, as is Ape, but looking a little bit weaker as of late. But you can see even in this particular area, one of our beloved community members, one of our family members reached out with a trade and said, well, I just kind of pulled out more than 10% on that within a day. There's always money to be made in crypto. Even if the crypto is down 80%, there's a lot of money to be made, but you have to change your attitude. I would suggest moving from the investment attitude, investment only, diamond hands, hodl and hold on for dear life, to just having a small percentage and starting small with a trading account. And I recommend Binance because it's got the cheapest fees. I've got a link to Binance in the description of this video. Let's have a look at Chiliz. Chiliz is looking very similar to Sand. That's not a bad look, but you can see that wobble there. That is not as strong as Sand. Let's have a look at GMT. I might just zoom in here a little bit to give you a better picture. What you can see here is Ape. Ape following Bitcoin's gravity, GMT following Bitcoin's gravity. These Ape and GMT were two outperformers. because they were new projects, and you can see that because they just basically started trading. Now, what do we see as we look more into it? The initial hype phase, the realization of value, and now the realignment to Bitcoin's gravity. It's easy to get swept up in crypto mania and say, I'm going to make $1 billion, I'm going to make $1 million, and I'm going to do it from $1. You know, the real key is to live a good life and understand that money always follows good foundations. That's why our community lives through a positive excellence framework. We aim at maintaining real wealth foundations such as kindness, gratitude, happiness, inner and outer peace, integrity and decency. This is really, really important. Success follows good fundamentals. Money is never first. And Art, a beloved family member, said something fantastic. You asked in yesterday's episode, does the money come in after you put in the hard work or before? Art said, this is a really good question. For me, whether it's in stocks, crypto, real estate, sales, the money never came before the hard work. If it did, the money disappeared just as fast as it came. There are so many examples of people who have come into great successes very quickly. For example, rock stars, superstars, actors, they make millions and millions of dollars and then they lose it all. Why? Because it just comes and it goes. If it comes too quickly, you don't appreciate it. Art goes on to say, the money earned after the hard work stays because it is somehow worth more. And it is. And it's more appreciated because of the blood, sweat, and tears it took to earn. Art says, even though I've been at this a while, I don't ever assume that earning money in the market is easy, because it's not easy. And you're spot on, Art. Art is a veteran. If you get complacent, start to think that you are brilliant because the market keeps going up, there will come a day your money goes away just as quickly. Be proactive, buy on red, sell on green. Wonderful and simple wisdom. Thank you so much, Art, for your comments. They're very artistic. It seems in this day and age, everybody is in a screaming hurry to get rich quick, to get promoted quick, to get married quick, to do everything quickly, to learn quickly. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. It needs to be fast. It needs to be now. No, it needs to be yesterday. But that's not the way the world works. We have to go slow to go fast. If you want mastery in any particular area, take your time. Just go step by step through and you will become a master of whatever it is that you put your mind to. And the reason that we follow these real wealth foundations and positive excellence focus is without self-mastery, wealth disappears. We don't want that. No point in getting rich quick to get poor quick. And a lot of people say, well, I got rich quick before, I can get rich quick again. It's better not to think that way. It's better just to say, go slow to go fast. Money comes after good fundamentals, and that's what it's all about in life. Let's have a look at some more community favorites. We can see Near following in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, as is Matic. Icon is as well. So is VRA. So is Rose. So is Kusama. So is IOTA. So is IOTEX. This is the way of the crypto market. What about Theta? Theta moving in alignment. What about Waves? Ooh, this is kind of interesting. Waves is moving out of alignment. So we've got some particular news in Waves, some underlying price action, movement that's actually pushing it out of alignment. When we see these out of alignment moves, of course, the first thing, they get our attention because they're really, really interesting. We want to dig more deeply into that. And we saw it recently with Tron. Tron came up as the market was coming down. And you can see that things can come up for quite a time, like we saw in Tron. So just beware that often what happens, like what happened with Ape and GMT. Ape and GMT were superstars. They were going up and up and up. And what happens? They always fall back into alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Just bear this in mind. We're always focusing on finding the market's attention, but we treat the market with the respect that it deserves. The market is not a slot machine. It's not there to pay out. It's there to pay out if we have the knowledge and we treat the market with respect. If we treat the market with disrespect, we gamble. The market will take your money. Please don't gamble. Know what you're doing. Also, bear in mind that price is always moving in a wave. It's always going up and down. You don't miss out, especially in crypto. It's so crazy volatile. And you just want to make volatility your best friend by buying at lower levels of support. Let's have a look at SHIB moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. What about EGLD moving in alignment now? There was a bit of a fluff here. It got away from the gravity, but it will get pulled back to it. That's why I'm trying to warn you in advance. And it doesn't mean that waves is not something that you should get involved in. I never say what you should get involved in or not. I just give you a feeling of the market, and that's really, really vital. But notice these particular corrections that can occur. You want to be really, really cautious with what you do. If you have the knowledge, you won't be fearful. You'll just be probabilistic in your fearlessness, and you need a degree of fearlessness to do well. And you can do that when you have those real wealth foundations. Phantom is looking quite good. That upward support is looking good. And we can see CHR, upward support, bit of a blow off here, just a normalization. And what is it doing? What happened to CHR? Bitcoin happened. Let's have a look at Loopring. Loopring is also looking quite strong, as is KNC, Kyber Network. Stellar is also looking strong, but just following Bitcoin's gravity. CRV following Bitcoin's gravity. AVAX following Bitcoin's gravity. Arweave following Bitcoin's gravity. You're going to get sick of me saying this, aren't you? Zilliqa, same. Uni, same. FTX, same. And now what do we see with Tron? It went out of alignment. Why did that happen? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are your thoughts on what happened to Tron? And what are your thoughts about what is happening with waves? Please let me know in the comments. Where do you think Bitcoin is headed for the next 24 hours? Do you think it will get to 1 or to A, or moving up towards 2 or down to B? Whatever it is, that's your theory on the markets, and they're all equally valid. These are two very difficult lessons to learn, but they're very important. A person is worthy of money when they don't waste it, and they're worthy of power when they don't abuse it. The key is that this is a universal law. When the universe sees people wasting money, it will take that money away from them. And when the universe sees people abusing power, the universe will take that power away from them. This is why it's really important to put money in the right perspective. It's the outcome of doing successful things. Being a successful person, being a person who can withstand success, having those real wealth foundations. And when it comes to power, kindness, absolutely make sure that you cannot abuse power, and integrity as well. All of these real wealth and positive excellence foundations, make sure that you move into zone 3 and zone 4. It's very hard to actually earn money in this world. It's hard to get money out of the markets as well. But when you do, you'll keep it if you have these foundations. I hope you found the content useful. Please let me know in the comments where you think the stock market is going and where you think the crypto market is going. Over the next, say, 3 days, it's really interesting to talk about these things. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We'd love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use, and links to the Crypto Trading KS Masterclass. Please seek out an ambassador to get 80% off. and you can always directly message me at Twitter as well. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.